Sumaya hene sumaya. It's like your shadow. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Mashano, and I'm back again. And today's video is going to be our first discussion. And I have with me a very pretty lady. You know how I do. I have the pretties on lock. I'm not going to do too much of the talking, but before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave a like and share. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Queenie, and this is my first time on Shano's podcast. But hopefully you'll be seeing more of me. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the discussion.
Right. It's nice to have you, and we are making history because you're the first person to be on the discussion segment.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the things to come. All right, so the topic for discussion today is will you tell or not tell if you find out that your friend's partner is cheating on them? Will you tell them or will you not tell? But before we get into it, I'd like to know what's your take on cheating.
Wow. You've asked a very controversial question. I know some people will come for me in the comment section, but hey, well, I think cheating is a betrayal, more or less, because if you're in a relationship, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage, I've put a certain level of trust in you, and I've given you a part of myself,
Right.
And for you to step out on that trust and commitment, that is a betrayal, sometimes unforgivable. But then on the other side too, people cheat for a lot of reasons, especially if you are married. You can't just up and leave because your partner just cheated. It has to be something that would drive you away, because most people cheat because of a lack of something. So if I had my own way, before you would cheat on your partner, try talking to them about the lack of that you are experiencing, because stepping out always causes more damage to the relationship. And keeping whatever is hurting you, whatever lack of that you are having, eventually it will do more harm to even you, because you would end up losing a very valuable partner, or a relationship, or a marriage even. So yeah, that's what I would say about it.
Yeah, but you mentioned some unforgivable. So what are the circumstances that make some cheating forgivable and some not forgivable?
Okay, so let me just, I can only speak for myself, right? If we are dating, if we are in a relationship, and like I said, why are you laughing? And like I said, I've given you a certain level of trust.
Yeah.
And we are at a point where we've agreed to be accountable to each other about our needs, our expectations, and what have you. But you decide to keep whatever you are feeling from me and instead step out on me. That is disrespectful, number one. You have insulted our commitment, 2. And then 3, most people cannot handle being cheated on. You let the other person feel like they may not be enough. But me, like this, you can't make me feel I'm not enough because I'm amazing, I'm wonderful. So if you cheat on me, it's your fumble. You fumbled this bag.
Okay. And at what point do you think it's okay to tell your friend that they are being cheated on by their partner?
But to the point of telling a friend that their partner is cheating on them, that's a whole other, ball game, because you need to consider a whole lot of things. First of all, what kind of friend is this person to you? Can they even handle this truth? what is the outcome? Like, what is your end game? Why are you telling them? What are you hoping for them to achieve, or what are you hoping to achieve by telling them? So it's a whole lot of things to consider. Like, you and I could be friends, but we are not that close. So I mean, it's none of my business. I can look away. But then also, some of us have friends for over 15, 20 years. That's family now. You can't just overlook certain things, So I really think it's a number of things to consider before you.
Yeah, but
tell a friend.
what could be the possible end game to why you tell a friend their partner is cheating on them, knowing very well how it would affect them, knowing how they might handle the situation? What do you think is a possible end game in such a situation?
That's the funny thing, sometimes you can never really tell how somebody is going to handle it. A lot of women, my friends would say, if you ever see my man cheating, make sure you tell me. But then you go and then you would tell them, and you end up being, the bad.
So you've done it before?
Oh.
You sell out?
No, I haven't done it before. No, not yet.
You've not sold out?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But the thought has crossed my mind.
But you've seen a friend's partner.
Yes. But like I said, it depends on the relationship that you have with this person.
Okay.
If we are not that close, and I know that you twist this thing around and come and say, Queenie, the thing cries, none of your business. I will just stay in my lane.
It's possible you become the third
person.
Right.
And, most of us ladies don't know how to handle some of these things. That's the truth. We can be very emotional, I will come tell you that, I saw Ken Shano and blah 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 in a very compromising situation. The first thing she's gonna do is, and you, my friend says she saw you, and then you now, cause you're manipulative and you're a cheese, you go like, which friend is that? And she just got, Queenie saw you, and then I was like, why is Queenie in my business? Why is she, And now this friend now comes to me. Queenie is like, Queenie, that thing cries, not like that. So you didn't see it well. You see?
Yeah.
So you, the friend who went to report, now ends up looking some type of way.
Yeah, that's why it's very necessary to consider the kind of friend you're going to. And then the end game to why you are telling them.
So why would I come and tell a friend that I saw this? If I have a friend and we are so close, and I know that this thing is going to hurt her, and I know that her hurt is my hurt, obviously I wouldn't be happy standing by watching her go through something of that nature.
No, but wait. She's not aware of the situation. She's not going through anything. She's not feeling any kind of pain.
But eventually,
to her, she's in a happy marriage or a happy relationship, right?
But
you are considering it. You are considering her going through something, whereas she's okay. She's living her life. She's happy with her man, and then you coming in to spill break the news to them.
Good. So that brings me back to the mode of delivery. If my friend hasn't told me any certain, like, I'm suspecting ABCD, how am I going to tell her something of this? Because, like you said, she's probably in a bubble. But eventually, it's going to be, it's going to come out and it will hurt her. And because we are that close, I will equally be affected because her head, I'm the one to come and cry on. So, I mean, come on.
Well,
so, mode of delivery is so important. If she doesn't know, she's never seen anything, she doesn't suspect anything, how will you tell her? So, maybe instead of just going and then saying, I saw Ken Shano being blah, 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 you could maybe rephrase it in a nice way that, have you considered that maybe because of Ken Shano's job, a lot of women may be around him or they try to get with him or something? And if you have you thought of ways you could keep your man home, in a nice girly conversation way?
Right.
Yeah. Mode of delivery is everything.
Yeah, mode of delivery. Very true, very true. I've never thought about it like that before. That there's a way you can actually, you can say the same things in two different ways, right?
Yeah.
One could be destructive.
And one could build up.
Yeah, one could. It's very, very true. Okay, but there are some people, no matter how well you phrase what you say, they would still not
They will still
they would still not be
overreact.
satisfied with how you've expressed it. They would want to dig deeper into the way you've said it nicely. They'll question things. They'll question, why would you just come up with your man and how his work is attracting women? So when that happens, how do you handle it?
I mean, obviously, I would assume that you and this person have been friends for some time. So obviously, their man is in a way your friend too. So you would be privy to some information about their lifestyle and what have you. And again, it boils back down to, you know who your friend is. You know how your friend is. You, in your sleep, you should be able to tell how your friend will react to certain things.
Yeah.
So you just have to, apply wisdom about it, you know.
Okay.
Because if I know that my friend is an overthinker and I just get up and then say, hey, I saw blah blah blah, she will overthink and over investigate, and she will just end up
blow
thinking
everything
herself
out of
into
proportion. Right.
So you just have to know how to apply wisdom. That is if you are the type of person that would tell. You see?
True.
If you're not gonna, you see, the thing about women, sometimes they won't say anything, but they will keep it to themselves, and then cause they know that their friend doesn't know, anytime that their friend is talking about, oh, and my man got me this, or I'm going on a vacation with my man, and they'll be making snide remarks. Don't be that person. That's not nice. If you're not gonna tell, keep it to yourself. Respect your friend's space and her relationship. But if you are gonna tell, I mean, just apply wisdom to it, because you don't want to break it down. If you are going to tell, and your end game is not to break them down, you need to apply wisdom to it.
Right. Okay, so here comes the $1 million question. Will you advise your friend to stay or to quit the relationship if they end up finding out for themselves? You have, expressed your concerns in a very nice way that wouldn't seem like it's that, serious. But then they themselves go out, do their own investigations, and find out that it's that bad. And then they come back to you now for advice. What will be your counsel?
Wow. To stay or not to stay?
Yeah. Because here you have seen him a number of times. You've seen her a number of, let's say you have seen my partner, because we are friends, right? So you've seen my partner doing that. So you've seen her doing stuff over time, and your friend is now just realizing it. What would be advice to your friend per what you've seen?
Well, it depends on the kind of relationship that they also have. Is it just boyfriend, girlfriend? Are they married? Because when you are married, a lot of other factors come into play. But I mean, if it's just boyfriend, girlfriend, and you and I know, or you finally come to the realization that this is something that this person has been doing, I mean, you should realize that this is a part of them. And eventually, when you get married, it will continue. So the question to you is, are you ready to continue suffering this even in your marriage? But if it's a situation where you guys are already married and you are now seeing this for the first time, I mean, so many other things come into play. There are so many other things to consider before you end a marriage because of a cheating.
No, let's limit it to relationship,
Boyfriend,
because we are not married. And we are not qualified to
talk about
what
anyway, it's true.
We are not qualified to speak. So let's limit it to relationship. Obviously, everybody gets married through relationships. So let's limit it to relationships. Yeah.
So, like I said, if you're just boyfriend, girlfriend, I mean, I strongly believe that what you see at the dating stage or in the dating stage is what you get in the marriage stage. So, if you're dating, you've been dating 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and every year you've experienced being cheated on, do you want to continue experiencing that in your marriage? I mean, if my friend comes to me, that's a question I would ask her, because I have seen this person
that's
a number of times. You are seeing this.
That's a very strong point, because if she has that tolerance, or if he has that tolerance to be cheated on, how much can you take? How much
can you take?
Can you take in a relationship? Some people,
when it's too much. When it's enough, actually.
For some people, if the partner is not physically abusive, he's not verbally abusive, but this is the only way he ends up abusing them, so to speak. They'll be like, okay, maybe this one I can handle it.
And that means you are ready to take whatever sicknesses or diseases come with it. I mean,
exactly.
those are things that you should really sit down and
you have to consider
because
everything.
Sometimes love is not enough.
True. So if after seeking your counsel, right, and you know conversations lead to other conversations. So maybe after she has done every check that she did, the investigation she did, and she came to tell you, oh, this is what I've seen. I mean, that conversation will also bring what you already know, and then you also pour it out to her, right? So after she gathering all this information and then comes back to you and says, oh, look, I've decided to stay.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes love blind? Because they say love is blind. Do you think she's blind when she does that?
Listen, to each his own, okay? No, literally.
You are tired.
To each his own. I mean, each man for himself, God for us all. No, but really, if my friend, after considering everything, decides to have a chat with herself and then says that she's going to stay irrespective of whatever, because, maybe the man is not a bad man, but this is their flaw. But at some point in time, this flaw is going to, mess you up.
Yeah.
But if she decides that she's okay with it, it's not my life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just have to support her and then keep her in prayers, because everybody is entitled to their choice. That's a choice that she has made.
Right.
The best thing you can do as your friend is to support and pray for her.
So if they eventually decide to stay, what do you think they can do to keep their partners? What are some of the things that can be done to keep a partner? Because obviously fighting them won't change the situation. It only worsens the case for both parties.
So they're asking me questions, so but once you decide to stay with a partner that abuses you,
would you consider that abuse?
No, I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
Once you decide to stay with the partner that treats you in any type of way that ordinarily you shouldn't be taken, it's two things involved. Well, three things actually. In this case, it's a cheating case. So you can ask yourself or try to get to the bottom of why he cheated. Is it just a chronic cheat? Just get up and just go. Or is this some external influence that caused it, People cheat because of so many things. People cheat because they may be dating you, they're in a relationship, but they are lonely. They are not talking about the issue with you or whatnot, but there's so many things going on in their heads.
Right.
No, he cheats because it's his behavior, it's a part of him. So now if you're going to try and get to the bottom of the problem or the cheating ways, are you going to try and help him to change? Or you just adjust to his nature? But mind you, as adults, you can't just make somebody change. That's one thing. A person is going to change if they decide to change, or only when they decide to, change. Right. So if you're going to stay with this person and you think that you are going to make them change, you have another thing coming. So it really boils down to you're just going to try and adjust.
Like they say,
to their nature.
The first step to a solution is identifying the problem.
So
if the man doesn't realize that he has a problem with cheating, then you're just pouring water on stones. All right, so we're about to wrap up. That was a very insightful responses that you gave. but then it brings us back to our original question. Will you tell or you won't tell?
Me,
I want just one answer.
I would tell you. Oh, because I want to be told. Like,
Hey!
oh yes, I would want to be told.
All right.
So I mean, and as I'm coming to tell,
Yeah.
I have to be ready for the fact that maybe we may not be friends again
Afterwards.
afterwards.
Do you put your friendship in such a position?
No, because like I was saying earlier, if I've been friends with, I have friends of over 15 years, 16 years. And I mean, we've gone beyond friendship now, and we are sisters.
Okay.
So obviously, if she finds out and she gets to know that I knew about it later, that would be more painful for her. So obviously, it would depend on how I would tell her, like I initially said.
Okay.
But I mean,
So
I
you
will
will
tell.
tell.
So if you know me and you are dating
All right,
my
guys.
friend,
She's a sellout. Anyways, guys, it's been a great time on the show. Queenie, you've been an amazing guest.
Thank you for
I'm
having
looking
me.
forward to having you on regularly. And guys, the question still remains: tell or not to tell. But for me, I keep it to myself. I don't know what I'll do, but yeah, decide for yourself. But first of all, find out how your friend is going to process the information, how they are going to handle it, and what is the end goal. What is the end goal? What do you seek to achieve by telling them? These are very sensitive information. Not everyone is able to handle
the delivery
information.
is very important.
Exactly, and the delivery, how you pass on this information is very important.
Yeah.
So this is where we draw the curtains on today's episode of Discussions. Queenie has been my very honorable guest, and I hope to catch you on the next episode. Stay tuned.